Hi, Tom from bkmnutrition.com, and today I want to talk about reserve calories. And reserve calories is something that I use with clients to help them if they ever have wobbles on a diet and they ever go off the rails as such in terms of eating outside what they're supposed to be eating every day. Now, the way reserve calories works is it's a second type of almost of a security blanket, overdraft, whatever type of analogy you want to refer to it as. And basically, it stops you if you do have a wobble on your diet from a massively going overboard and eating all the food. Now, the way it works is that when I work out a calorie deficit for a client, so say if you went on my calorie calculator on my website, which is bkmnutrition/calculator, if you went on there and put in your details, it would give you how many calories you need to eat for maintenance, and then it would give you a figure for how many calories you need to eat for fat loss. So normally this is around about, say if your maintenance was 2,500 calories per day, your normal fat loss target would be 2,000 calories a day. So you're creating a 500 calorie deficit per day, and over the week that would equate to 3,500 calories on a deficit. So that's about a pound of body fat if you stayed in deficit, all things being equal, which they very rarely are, but let's just, for the maths, let's just assume that. So let's say you've had this 3,500 calorie deficit for the week. Now, if you're going along Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you're sticking to the food, you're eating your 2,000 calories per day. But then you get to Friday, and as is normal for the weekend, people generally tend to go off plan a little bit on the weekend, or it's harder to stick to the plan because a lot of people I work with have families, they have people they see, their friends on the weekend, their girlfriend, their boyfriend, whatever, on the weekend is generally not as organised as their week would be. So the potential for overeating there is quite high. Now, the problem is that if we've been so good on our diet for the week, so Monday to Friday or Monday to Thursday, we've eaten our 2,000 calories, and then we get to the weekend and we go a little bit over, and we know we've gone over, and all of a sudden we think, oh no, I've just done all that, I've just undone all my good work for the week. And this really does lead sometimes to people going, oh well, I've just messed up my whole diet, so I'll just go right off the rails and I'll just eat everything because I might as well do that because I've messed up my diet. And the reason is it's this black or white approach to thinking about your diet. So the reason, oh, I'm in a calorie deficit, I'm sticking to my calories per day, that's good. Oh, I've gone a little bit over, that's bad. But there's no grey area in between. It's like I've either stuck to my diet or I haven't, and if I haven't, I might as well not stick to the diet and go off the rails completely. And it's almost like a self-punishment that you've gone off the rails on your diet, so now you want to make it harder for yourself. And although this sounds completely stupid, this is what happens to the vast majority of people who do diets. They have a wobble and they feel really bad about themselves, and they comfort themselves by eating more food. Excuse me, yes, it does sound stupid, but that's exactly what happens. And then I generally pick up the pieces on Monday when they phone me and say, it's not been great this weekend. So I was finding this was happening a lot with my clients, and this was years and years ago. And I sat down with a few clients. We come up with a solution, and the solution is to have reserve calories. Now, what reserve calories are is, remember we created that sort of 3,500 calorie deficit at the beginning of the week by saying, right, we'll have 2,000 calories. 2,500 is our maintenance, so 500 times 7 over the week is 3,500. Now, obviously, if you see my other videos, excuse me, you'll know that it's the average of your calories for the week that matter for weight loss, or fat loss, I should say, rather than what happens on an individual day. So we're using that mentality to give ourselves a reserve, so almost like an emergency fund of calories. So the idea is that for most clients, I'll give them between a 500 and 1,000 calorie reserve. Now, let's say we're talking about our fictitious person with the 3,500 calorie deficit if we eat 2,000 calories per day. If we were to eat 1,000 calories extra on one of our wobble days, we would still, on average, be in a deficit of 2,500 calories. Because if we have a 3,000 calorie deficit and we overeat by 1,000 calories, well, we've still actually eaten in a calorie deficit, and we've actually still lost body fat on average, just not as much as what we would have done if we'd stuck to the diet. But what is the real goal here? Is it to be a 100% perfect person and hit the diet all the time? Well, we'd all like to be like that, but actually it doesn't happen that way. Life gets in the way. Or is it, well, let's see if we can hit it 80% of the time, because that 80% will be good. The 20% where we've had a little wobble, okay, it's 20%, but 80% is good. And that's the purpose of the reserve calories. That if you have an issue that comes up in your life, which is, oh, that stress has happened, or kids are late for school, or kids are stressing me, or I've had an argument with my girlfriend or boyfriend, or work, I hate my boss, blah, blah, blah. All these things which then force you into an action where you overeat and then feel guilty and then continue to overeat. What about if we had that reserve amount and we could go, do you know what? It's been a bloody stressful day today. I really do feel like eating, but I don't want to mess up my diet. But I know I can have 1,000 calories if I want to. I tell you what, I'm just going to go out and eat half a pizza, or I'm going to have some ice cream, or I'm going to have blah, blah, whatever you want, whatever you like. But I'm going to control myself and only eat up to 1,000 calories because I know I can have that, because that's in my reserve amount. What this does, it gives you back control rather than the losing control in a moment of, I suppose, stress or whatever, and then overeating and then thinking, oh, I've just done my diet. Oh, well, okay, I'll overeat some more. Even if you've gone overeating, if you look at what you've eaten and track it in MyFitnessPal, or look at the packet or whatever, you can see how many calories that actually is. And actually knowing that you can go up to 1,000 calories extra, which isn't on your list for that week, and still be within a deficit and still be making progress and still be losing body fat, that gives you back control. It gives you back your choice and your understanding of why you're doing things. And that's really powerful. That's something which now all my clients utilize. So they don't do it every week. They don't say, oh, I'm going to have my 1,000 calories every week. But if they do have a stressful situation, and if they do have a situation which is causing them to feel, oh, I just want to eat a donut, I just want to eat some ice cream, whatever, they can, because they can know they go into their reserve calories and they can eat that food, and that will stop them from going right off the rails. Because once the initial dopamine hit of I need some food has been satisfied by having some food, you'll find it does start to dissipate if you do have some element of control and know why you're doing it. Obviously the risk there is that you keep on eating afterwards, but that's something you have to manage over time and start to control that. But having the understanding of you can go over if you want to, that is what gives you the control. So having reserve calories in your diet, don't always stick to these are the calories I'm having every day and that's it, and that's the block lines I'm going to stick within. You can go slightly over, you can go slightly under as well if you want to, as long as the average calories over the week add up to a deficit. So allocate yourself a reserve calories amount that you can go into if needed, but only go into that if you needed, because obviously the more you go into your reserve calories, the longer it's going to take to reach your goals. However, I'd much rather you take longer to reach your goals than never reaching your goals. There's always that consideration. Okay, I hope this has been helpful. If you like the video, please thumbs up, like it, whatever. Share with people who you might think it helps. And if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.